Hey everyone, I'm Jack Franklin, the guy behind A Language a Month, and this is a video response to Craig Farrell of CF Designs with z.co.uk, who's been trying to learn PHP and contacted me, well not contacted me, posted on Twitter about how he was struggling with all the tutorials, and I said I'd help him out. And as part of my project to learn PHP, I'm trying to learn more about user logins and the best way to do it all, and he was at a similar stage. So I thought, why not combine the two? I'll try and remember my knowledge. This has actually taken me far longer than it should to figure out, but I've got there now, I believe. And hopefully this will help you out, Craig, and anyone else. Apologies if I sound a bit rough, it's because I've got a terrible cold, gone through billions of packets of tissues today. One more thing, bit of self-promotion. I'm running a contest on my blog, jackfranklin.co.uk. Where you can win a USB gadget of your choice that's to the value of £12, which I'll buy for you if you win the project. So go to jackfranklin.co.uk/blog.php, check that one out. Okay, all I've done so far is create an index.php, test.php and logout.php file. Ending up. Okay, so what it's doing, here we go. Try it again. There we go. Right. Okay, let's get going. So this is all I've created in the front end form, and you can log in. What happens is you can log in. Hit login, and you get taken to a page like this where it says "Hello Jack." We set a session value. Go to another page, tells me, and go back, and then eventually we'll do the logout. So what I've done is in index.php. That's my form, and I've got an if going which says, just bear with me, it says if there is a session variable called user, then echo hello, echo the name, and then also display these links. Notice what I'm doing is I've got the if statement there, then I'm going out of the PHP, but this is still inside the if statement. That's a bit of a secret to PHP almost, which I didn't know until a couple of days ago, is that you can actually exit an if loop. Exit the PHP side of an if loop and write normal HTML that will only be used if that statement is true. So if the session user does exist, echo hello, echo the name, give them two links, else if it doesn't, show them the login form. That's pretty basic. Okay, here we go. And when you start a session is a way of storing data and transporting it across multiple pages on the website. When you're logged in on, say, a forum, you don't have to log in every time you go to a new page, and that will certainly be because of sessions. When you want to create them, you use the function session start, and this is always, absolutely always, has to be the first thing you do when you're working with sessions, and it always has to go before the doc type, and it should ideally be, well, usually the second or first line, only after the PHP tag. And what I'm doing here is saying if there is the post variable submit, which is the name of my submit button, if that's been clicked, that line says if that's been clicked, then the variable user n, or username obviously, it becomes equal to the variable name in the post array. Let's type that up, and then I'm going to set a session variable called user to that value. So that's all I've done in this page. So we log in like we had, and we see this, and then we're going to go to test.php now, and this is showing you the value of sessions. When you're working with a session, you always need to do session start, which is all I've done here. We can try it here, I'll show you as well. If I can do welcome, and then I'll echo that variable we set on the previous page, like so, and I've done the same thing here, just adding the link, and then I've given you it back. So now if we go to another page, load up, and it says, you see there, it says welcome Jack. Okay, so now we've got that going, let's go back into our code. So that's that. So that is, I can do that on as many pages as I want, and I can, so that's how login things work. They create a session, save your username and all your details. They obviously go a lot more in depth, and then they can use that by just referencing session user across every single page. So let's now work on the logout. So it's really pretty simple. On the logout, there's a few different methods you can use for logging people out. Obviously, once again, even though we're trying to destroy the session, we always need to start it. Starting it is like, you know, before you're gonna delete something you've written in Microsoft Word, you need to open it. And it's the same instance, you know, same idea here. You need to open a session. A few different ways we can do it. The first way is we can unset one particular variable in our session, so by doing unset session user. And what that does is gets rid of the user variable, so hopefully we'll demonstrate this now. I haven't tried this, so let's go back. So I'm still logged in as Jack. If I click log out, it's done it, go home, and there you go. And now, just to show you, if I go to localhost / php sessions / test.php, and it just says nothing because I'm not logged in. Obviously in real life you wouldn't display that, you'd have an if logged in, etc. And if I go back to the home page, I'm not logged in. So now I'm not logged in at all. Okay? So that's destroying just that particular variable. So if I had another session variable called, I don't know, email, that one wouldn't be destroyed, that one wouldn't be touched, that one would still exist. The unset targets one particular variable in the session. Okay? Then you've got session score unset, and this removes every single variable in your session but does not destroy the particular session. That's what you've got to do. So that you know, when I had unset session, I think it was user, session unset is a way of doing this, but for every single variable. So it's like it loops through every variable in your session and does that line of code on it. That's the best way to think of it. Whoa, don't know what happened there. And your final method is session destroy, which completely erases the session, all its variables, everything, leaves no trace. So let's test this method. Log in as Jack, or Jack Fuck. Another page, logged in as welcome there, back, log out, home, there we go. So that one is showing. And then finally do the other way just to prove to you. This works, log in again. Hello Jack, another page, logged in as Jack, log out, there we go. So all three do the same thing. I find the unset method, just per variable, is the best way if you only want to target one particular variable. It's pretty nifty, easy to understand. And the other two are pretty similar really. I'm sure there must be a PHP expert who's a lot more knowledgeable that can tell me the pros and cons of each method and when to use each one. So for now I would keep going with session destroy for completely destroying the session. You've got session unset for destroying all the variables in the session but not the session itself, and you've got the unset method to target a particular variable. So to start a session, or whenever you're going to use a session, you always have to use the session start keyword, and you assign a variable just like so. You can check to see if the session variable exists using the isIt function. Logging out, you still have to start session before you try and destroy it, and also it has to be in the top line of code. So hopefully Craig and everyone else, that's helped you out, and you're a bit more clearer on sessions. Any questions, just post and I'll try and help you out, because remember, I'm trying to learn this as well. So hope I did a good enough job. Cheers.